My dear students, today we are going to discuss about the topic training, meaning, definition and methods of training. In an ever-changing and fast-paced corporate world, training and development is crucial for organizational development and success. So first of all, we have to understand what is the meaning of training. Training is a systematic process of changing the behavior, knowledge, and attitudes of present employees to improve the match between employee characteristics and employment requirements. It means it is concerned with teaching or learning which is carried on for the basic purpose of enabling the employees to acquire and apply the knowledge, skills, abilities and attitudes needed by the particular organization. The objective of training is to develop specific and useful knowledge, skills and techniques. It is mainly intended to prepare people to carry out predetermined tasks in well-defined job context. Training is the act of increasing the knowledge and skills of an employee for doing a particular job. Training is the organized procedure by which people learn knowledge and improve skill for a definite purpose. When we look at the definitions, we can say that training is an organized activity for increasing the technical skills of employees to enable them to do particular job effectively and efficiently. Now let us see what are the methods of training. Methods of training can be mainly divided into on-the-job training and off-the-job training. So what do you mean by on-the-job training? In this method, the employee learns by doing. He is exposed to the real work situation. An experienced employee will act as the friend, philosopher and guide. Here, the new employee follows the orders, carries out instructions, and adopts the right technique while doing the job. In this way, he is able to learn the work practically. This is what on-the-job training means. This is the most common method of training in which trainee is placed on a specific job and taught the skills and knowledge which is necessary to perform the job. There are different methods of on-the-job training. So first one is job rotation. Job rotation means this type of training involves movement of trainee from one job to another. The trainee receives job knowledge and gains experience from his supervisor or trainer in each of the different job assignments. This method gives an opportunity to the trainee to understand the problems of employees on other jobs and respect them. So job rotation means this is a training method which involves movement of trainee from one job to another. Next one, coaching. Here, trainee is placed under a particular supervisor who functions as a coach in training the individual. The supervisor provides feedback to the trainee on his performance and offers him some suggestions for improvement. Often, the trainee shares some of the duties and responsibilities of the coach and relieves of his burden. One of the limitations of this method of training is that trainee may not have the freedom or opportunity to express his own views or ideas. Next one, job instruction. This method is also known as training through step by step. Under this method, trainer explains the trainee the way of doing the jobs, job knowledge and skills, and allows him to do the job. Trainer appraises the performance of trainee and provides feedback information and corrects the trainee if there is any mistake. Okay, so this is job instructions. Next one, committee assignments. Under the committee assignment, group of trainees are given and asked to solve an actual organizational problem. Here, trainees solve the problem jointly so that it develops a teamwork. Internship training. It is a period of work experience offered by an organization for a limited period of time. An internship gives practical skills, workplace experience and greater knowledge of that industry in exchange for the employer benefiting from the labor. Under internship training, instructions through theoretical and practical aspects are provided to the trainees. Next one, off-the-job training method. What is the meaning of off-the-job training method? Off-the-job training is conducted in a location specifically designated for training. The method of training which are adopted for the development of employees away from the field of the job are known as off-the-job methods. Okay, so off-the-job training method is mainly conducted in a location which is specifically designated for training. It may be near the workplace or away from work, at a special training center or a resort conducting the training away from the workplace, which minimize distractions, and it allows trainees to devote their full attention to material being taught. Off-the-job training programs may not provide as much transfer of training to the actual job as do on the job programs. Okay, so off-the-job training method means it is a method of training which are adopted for the development of employees, which is conducted away from the field of the job. There are different methods of off-the-job training methods. First one, case study. It is a written description of an actual situation in the past in the same organization or somewhere else, and trainees are supposed to analyze and give their conclusion in writing. This is another excellent method to ensure full and wholehearted participation of employees and generates good interest among them. Case is later discussed by instructor with all the pros and cons of each option. It is an ideal method to promote decision-making abilities within the constraints of limited data. Okay, so case study method deals with any problem confronted by a business which can be solved by an employee. Here, trainee is given an opportunity to analyze the case, and come out with all the possible solutions. Next one, incident method. Incidents are prepared on the basis of actual situations which happened in different organizations, and each employee in the training group is asked to make decisions as if it is a real life situation. Later on, the entire group discusses the incident and take decisions related to the incident on the basis of individual and group decisions. Next one, role play. In this case, a problem situation is simulated and ask employee to assume the role of a particular person in the situation. Here, trainees act out a given role as they would in a stage play. 2 or more trainees are assigned roles in a given situation, which is explained to the whole group. But there are no written lines to be said, and naturally no rehearsal also. The role players have to quickly respond to the situation that is ever changing and to react to it as they would it in the real one. It is a method of human interaction which involves realistic behavior in an imaginary situation. Role playing primarily involves employee-employer relationships, hiring or discussing a grievance problem, conducting a post-appraisal interview, disciplining a subordinate, or a salesman asking presentation to a customer. Okay, so role play. In this method, a problem situation is simulated and ask employee to assume the role of a particular person in the situation. Next one, business games. According to this method, the trainees are divided into groups and each group has to discuss about various activities and functions of an imaginary organization. They will discuss and decide about various subjects like production, promotion, pricing, and so on. This gives result in a cooperative decision-making process. Next one is lectures. Under the off-the-job training method, classroom method or lecture method is well known to train white-collar or managerial level employees in the organization. Under this method, employees are called to the room like that of a classroom and give training by trainer in the form of lectures. This method is effectively used for the purpose of teaching administrative aspect or on management subject, to make aware of procedures and to give instructions on a particular topic. Next one, simulation method. This method of training is most famous and core among all the off-the-job training methods. In the simulation training method, trainee will be trained on the especially designed equipment or machine seems to be really used in the field or job. For example, simulation method has been using widely for the purpose of training aeroplane pilots on aeroplane simulator to make them ready to handle and fly aeroplane. So under simulation, an imaginary situation is created and trainees are asked to act on it. So these are the different methods of off-the-job training methods. Hope you understood today's session, that is the meaning of training then what are the different methods of training, mainly on the job training methods and off the job training methods. Okay, thank you.